What is up, you dirty batters? Welcome to the Inglorious Batters podcast. My name is Jordan alongside Adam and Rob. Today is an awesome day, mainly because yesterday was opening day. It's basically a national holiday at this point. We should have all gotten the day off from work, but we never were given that opportunity, which sucks. But we got a lot of fun baseball yesterday. Some heartbreaks, some great things happened as well. I was at work for a majority of it, but I was able to catch most of the St. Louis Cardinals game, which was a doozy for sure. If you want to hear more about that, go to the other show at the Birds of Bush, Cardinals only. But also, how did you guys think of opening day? And also, how are you two?
I'm doing well, man. I agree with you. Yesterday was probably one of the best days of the year. It's a national holiday. It's something that it was kind of rough because it was a Thursday. We had a full work schedule, so it was kind of getting back into the later half of the games. I had a long night as a Guardians fan. They're out in Seattle, so that was a 10-10 start for us here on the Eastern time. But I think honestly, we just need to ride this. This needs to not just be a one-day thing. This is a whole weekend thing. This is opening weekend. We're going to ride this wave into the weekend. It's not just opening weekend for MLB. It's opening weekend for fantasy baseball. It's just an amazing time of the year. It's exciting. Shout out Bob Nightingale. I've got so many high expectations for me personally, for my team, my Guardians, for my Kikiyanga Indians, for all my fantasy teams. I'm super excited. How about you, Rob?
Man, I couldn't disagree at all. It was just perfect day yesterday. Opening day, opening weekend's always a good time. I got my Skyline, crushed some Cincinnati beers, and sat there with my two little princesses, and we watched baseball all day. As for my fantasy team, I don't have high expectations for them at all. I think I've got my expectations fairly leveled, and to make the playoffs this year, and then hopefully, just kind of learn some things. So I'm trying some new stuff out over the last two seasons. So we'll see how it goes.
So let's do this because we didn't have an opportunity to have a after draft show. So let's do a quick rundown on our teams real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull up our squads. I was just thinking about this. I was like, you know what? We need to give them a chance to take a look at our teams. I feel like I'm going to win the championship because I am the best. And I am due for one. Adam's already got his. Rob, have you gotten one yet?
What?
Have you gotten a championship yet?
Oh, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Have you gotten championship in fantasy baseball yet?
Can't hear you either, man.
All right. Jordan, I think I'll answer that. That's a no. All right.
Yeah, fuck you.
Let's not.
No championship here in the Drudy house when it comes to fantasy baseball just yet. But it's okay. I married a redhead, so I'm just full-time champion anyway.
Before?
Yeah, I've been 3 times throughout.
Oh, dang! You're the
throughout
Buffalo Bills of championships.
Not yet. I got one more.
Well, and it's not been consecutive, so.
Yeah, they're not consecutive years. Just the Philadelphia Eagles. One day I'm going to win one.
He likes to throw in a couple mediocre years in between those good years.
Yeah.
Hang on. All right. So it's actually great. Adam and I are facing each other this week. We are off to a very trash start. We are both doing very poorly. My pitching gave me -30 last night. And Adam didn't have great luck with his pitching at all.
Yeah.
And his offense kind of imploded on him. So
yeah, it was a bad night.
It was a bad one for the two of us for sure. So since my team is pulled up, since I'm logged in, give me 1 second. I'm going to hopefully it doesn't like crap out my internet, because you know how my Cricket wireless internet is.
It's already starting to get a little lag every time you click that mouse.
There we go. So you can see my team is everybody's in this planet. Adley Dutchman, who literally became a god yesterday. Home run right out the gate, and then Josh Bell, Cedric Nolan Arenado. Kluber got cut last night, right after his performance. So, like I said, and then let's go to
Rob, is his internet cutting out for you? Hey, you're breaking up bad. I would maybe quit sharing the screen.
There.
Yeah, I would. We're gonna keep this a.
Hang on. There we go. I am
Jordan's
done.
buffering.
Right, so
good God.
He's lost.
All right, we can hear you, Jordan.
We are done talking about it. Never mind. I thought we could get into a little conversation about it, but obviously it's not tolerating my amazing internet connection. So all I can say is my team is great. Who's your top performers, you two?
Well, all I'll say is this. I went through day one and I netted 12.4 points. So I've got not a whole lot to say. My offense went 3 for 26. My pitching went for negative 2.8 overall. So, hey, it's day one, whatever.
How about yourself, Rob? You had a big day. You broke 100.
I had a decent day. I netted 114.4 points. Yesterday, I mean, my big performers were George Springer. He had a big day. Went 4 for 5. So that's solid. But my strategy of approach with closers this year, I'm telling you, man, I got Emmanuel Clase and Felix Bautista. I think that I'm going to have the top two AL closers.
You are.
Those are stupid, bro.
Rob, you're stacked in that position, but you know what? That's going to be our second topic of the day. So don't.
We'll save it then.
Yeah,
we'll save that then. Other than that, obviously JT Realmuto, he had himself a day. I came into the season at my second base spot with Jonathan India, and I thought that to me that was a hole. I mean, he was not the Jonathan India of 2 seasons ago in his 2022 campaign. So I was just hoping that it pays off. He had himself a pretty solid showing yesterday. He was pretty much him and Tyler Stevenson was pretty much all of the Reds production. So I was pretty happy with that. I didn't have any pitching go, so I don't really have anything to say there. So I think I got Dustin May tonight. Nope, that'll probably be tomorrow, I guess. No, I think it's tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, it's tonight. He's pitching tonight against who? The D-backs?
Merrill Kelly. Yeah, Merrill Kelly.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
So
Merrill Kelly's not bad.
No, hey. Yeah, he shit the bed a little bit in the WBC, but that's all right.
A little bit.
Yeah. So let's go into our first segment. Obviously, it's the second day, and obviously we're already pissed off. Let's talk about that, shall we?
Overreactions.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about overreactions.
Yeah.
All right. So, Adam, let's have you start this off.
Well, I guess I've got a couple. That's the best thing about opening day, and also the worst thing about opening day is getting on any sort of sports media, whether it's social media or listening to radios, it's one game in. Everybody's a gas bag, including myself. Full of opinions, full of takes after one game. So I guess, have a couple overreactions, and I guess for these, we could make them either overreactions to just the MLB opening day, or I guess fantasy overreactions. So I guess since we are a fantasy baseball show, I want to call an adjournment here. We need to bring our bastard Jordan to the pulpit to defend something, because I think Jordan actually, I know you brought this question to me, but I want to flip it to you to start, okay? Because I suppose, and I am following your fantasy team because I'm playing you this week, but I suppose you had a little bit of an opening day overreaction, because right out of the gates, you wasted no time in dropping both Gregory Soto, an all-star from a year ago, all-star closer from a year ago, who is now with the Philadelphia Phillies, who's, solid team. You dropped him because he did kind of shit the bed there in the ninth, or whenever that was. Yes. But not only that, you also dropped Corey Kubler.
Kubler.
Corey Kubler after one bad outing. I mean, damn,
Yeah.
that is the epitome of overreactions. Defend yourself, my man.
All right. So there's certain guys where I'm willing to do that to cut instantly. So when it comes down to hang on, real quick. Marcus brought this up. My dad and I was talking to my dad yesterday about this. No, not yesterday. Today about this. I was like, remember when you dropped Edwin Diaz after one outing? Oh gosh, I'll never let that go. Dang. Anyway, sorry, but so there's certain players where I let bad outings slide. For example, if Verlander wasn't hurt and he had a bad outing, I'm letting it slide. If Aaron Nola, since he did have a bad outing, I'm letting him slide. There's certain level of pitchers I'm going to let that go. However, when it comes down to pitchers that aren't as good as what they used to be, and they have shown that they've struggled these last couple of years, I'm cutting them instantly. I have zero remorse. Gregory Soto, the reason why I cut him so fast is because when I had him last year, he really let me down. Not like it was like he went through a stretch where he had like 4 straight bad outings. And I don't remember if I won or lost those, but
That's fair.
it was very aggravating. And then I gave him another chance this go around, and then he gave up 5 runs, blown save, negative 15 points. I can't let that slide again.
All right, that's fair enough. You brought him back on a short leash, and by that I mean a very short leash. I mean, my goodness. But hey,
couple seconds.
You've got intuition, Jordan, and we can't fault you for that. You stuck with your intuition, and you've made some moves, and now we're going to have a bidding war between, I think, Jim and I for Gregory Soto tonight. It's not a big deal.
Have fun. well, I mean, if he does great the rest of the year, I'm not considering that a loss on my end, because I personally feel like I was just tired of him. So if he does well for the rest of the season, fantastic. I'm not in any hurt by it. I'm just going to chill with it. It's not as bad as dropping Edwin Diaz after he had one bad outing.
That's bad.
Dad, I'm never going to let that go.
Yeah. That one came back to bite his ass. So,
Rob, what's a opening day overreaction you got for us?
On the fantasy, approaching this from the fantasy standpoint, every single one of them. There is no such thing as, every single reaction right now is an overreaction. CJ Cron, that's an overreaction. Having a reaction to this, we're one game in. I mean, hell, if we were 2 weeks into the season, that's when I'll start to react on these players. That's when I'll be like, all right, Corey Klubler isn't cutting it anymore. He's got to go. And
Hey, and
I
it's still
wouldn't have had
probably
to.
an overreaction. It's still probably an overreaction 2 weeks in.
Yeah, I mean that's still pretty early to sit there and start judging and rate, like making like a full season decision on some of these guys. I mean, I drafted my team because I liked what I thought they could do. So I like my team that I had going into it, and that's how it is. And I think that's we'll talk about this a little bit later probably, but I think that's how I also approach trades, like preseason trades. I drafted my team. I'm happy with the team I drafted. If I didn't get somebody that I liked, I mean, I'm definitely willing to go approach or entertain a trade by it, but I'm not gonna sell for anything more than what I value than that right now, and that's just me.
Absolutely.
I only had one.
In my eyes, every reaction right now is an overreaction because yes, CJ Cron went out and he demolished yesterday, and Max Muncy went out and got his ass handed to him. That could very well flip today and then flip back tomorrow. So.
And it's the same idea with Jacob deGrom. We know that when he pitches at the high pitches like he's Jacob deGrom, he's unhittable. Like he had one outing where he got hit. It happens.
Right.
But the reason that but you can't put Kubler. I'm going to call him Kubler from now on. You can't put Kubler and deGrom on the same level though. That's why I reacted that way. I need just.
But I mean, I wouldn't put them up on the same level at all. But that's when I would go back to my draft and just say that I draft well and you draft like shit. So
I picked him up on free agency.
Well, then that's even worse.
You picked up Kubler on free agency?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's bad, man. You had to spend $4 on that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can put them on the same level, but hey, they both have 2 Cy Young awards, so put some respect on the name of Corey Kluber.
Hey.
Yep.
He had a fantastic career. He's just done.
Oh, come on. He's done from your team. Don't kill the poor guy. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's back on my team sometime this season then.
No, he's done. He's done. His baseball days are behind him. He just hasn't recognized it yet.
Yeah, come on now. He had a great spring.
How about yourself, Adam? You haven't given us a single overreaction yet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess as far as overreactions that I've got, dude. What can I tell you, dude? I guess let me just start it by what a juxtaposition that we are in just a mere two-week span, maybe less than 2 week span. Where 2 weeks ago we had Shohei Ohtani repping for Team Japan. The whole world has just gone nuts for baseball, for the World Baseball Classic. Everybody's into it. The ratings were through the roof. I mean, even in this country, I mean, the ratings were good. They didn't compare to obviously Japan and Puerto Rico and the DR and some of those, but okay, so he's got sold out stadiums in Miami in the World Baseball Classic final. And then in 2 weeks, he breaks with the Anaheim Angels and twirls an absolute gem for them.
He needs to get traded.
In front of 4,000 fans in Oakland. 4,000 fans, okay? We need to lift this man up and protect him at all costs. Okay, so I guess my overreaction is on top of this gem he throws, they lose the game to the Oakland Athletics. Okay, so I'm not trying to overreact, but I am going to overreact.
That's not an overreaction. I personally was pissed off when I woke up and saw that they lost. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" The man throws 10 strikeouts, got on base twice. And they lose. And I'm one of those people that is like, he needs to get traded. Him and Trout both are getting their careers wasted because we're never going to see them in the playoffs ever.
Yeah.
We're just going to see them sit at home during postseason ball.
Here's the thing about it. You want to save the Angels. Okay. Cause here's the thing. I am so sick. I saw a graphic, top 5, top 7, highest paid players in the MLB. We had Shohei, we had Trout, we had Rendon, and I'm like, it's just a big pile of shit as far as what they've done. You want to save the Angels. Here's what you need. You need to hire George Knox, a.k.a. Danny Glover from Angels in the Outfield. Bring back Mesmer. Bring back Hemmerling. Bring back Ray Mitchell. Bring back Ranch Wilder, calling the play-by-play. Bring back JP. Bring back Roger, the number one fans, and Maggie, their nanny. Bring them all back. Let Disney own the team again. I just can't take it anymore. And as far as Trout goes, I love Trout. He's a great player. But I'm so sick of people saying, oh, I feel bad for Trout, and Ohtani, get him out of Anaheim. Okay, Mike Trout, you could have signed that deal for just as good, if not better than any other team. The problem is you just decided to pick a freaking loser, and you're going to be a loser for the rest of your career, and I don't feel sorry for you. And when Ohtani leaves, I don't feel sorry for you. I'm over it. That organization is trash. Billy Epler was trash. Whoever this GM they got now is trash. Artie Moreno's trash. I'm done with them. Overreaction.
I agree. That's not an overreaction. That is not an overreaction. I 100% agree with that whole statement. The Angels are wasting Shohei Ohtani. And it's so sad to see.
Hey, and just a cherry on top, you want to save the Angels? Give me Matthew McConaughey in center field and give me Christopher Lloyd appearing out of nowhere, just massaging the shoulders of Shohei Ohtani and Mel Clark, who's just got one more year left in him before he croaks of cancer. I mean, that's what they're going to need to pull this team out of the fucking dump.
You're not wrong. Like, I was so angry seeing them lose that game. Because I had the same mindset as you. Wins the WBC. He's on top of the world. And then they get B after a 10 strikeout performance. Did Alcantara sign? Not Alcantara. Alcantara, did he sign a extension with Miami? Is he stuck there?
I'm not real sure, but we will find that out.
No idea.
So
I spilled beer all over myself.
I saw that.
Yeah, during your rant, my beer just started like flooding all over the place.
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry, Adam. I missed a little bit of your rant, but it seemed like you had a lot of passion built behind the Angels in the outfield, which I hold near and dear to my heart, and then a lot of passion of dislike towards either Oakland or LA, and I hold that near and dear to my heart too. Stupid ass city.
He signed a 5-year extension in 21.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. I agree with Jim. Then they made their bed; they're gonna have to lay in it. So.
Yeah, but I also don't hear Trout complain. Like, I don't hear Trout complain about being stuck in LA. I think he knows. I mean, that's one thing you got to say about Trout. You got to give it. He's humble.
He's a stand-up guy.
Love Trout. I love Trout. He's a great player, and I think he is one of the greatest players. I'm not going to argue that, but at the end of the day, if at the end of the day he doesn't get the respect he deserves because he hasn't done anything in the playoffs, that was a choice he made, and he signed a 14-year deal, and so far he's got 3 playoff games and he's lost all 3. He got swept, so he's a great player, but hey,
yeah. And Shohei has never been in the playoffs.
No, and here's the thing: I'm not saying they're not in the play. Baseball, unlike any other sport, it's such a team sport. But what I'm saying is Trout, with the shitty ass ownership and the shitty front office that he's dealt with his whole career, he decided, well, hey, you guys have showed me enough. I'm going to sign another 14 years.
Well, I bet you,
damn, dude.
I bet you it's because they promised him X, Y, and Z, and he was like, okay, if you're going to promise to build a team around me, we got Shohei Ohtani. That's a fantastic pickup. Who else are we getting? One-hit wonder, Anthony Rendon. Okay. Who else are we getting? No pitching?
Respect that, man.
Cool. And by one-hit wonder, Anthony Rendon, do you mean that one hit he gave to the Athletics fan in the stands yesterday? Did you see that?
Too soon.
I did. I wouldn't be needing a third baseman soon, so if anybody's got any trade offers out there, go for it. Rendon's about to get his ass suspended.
What's so funny, since we're on that Angels talk, remember that? Did you guys see, you saw that picture I put out in the chat talking about every time I see the Angels highlights, it's Mike Trout hit 3 home runs and raised his average to 528, while Shohei Ohtani did something that hasn't been done since Tungsten Arm O'Doyle of the 1921 Akron Groomsmen, as the Tigers defeat the Angels 8-3.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I did see that. So, all right. Well, look, hey, it's and here's the thing: the beauty of these takes are you can't hold us to them because they were prefaced with the overreactions soundbite. So these were just overreactions. We've admitted to it. So,
Right.
why don't we? Are we okay to go into our next topic, or what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Hey, wait.
Oh God, what's he cooking? Is he cooking something?
Holds versus saves.
Makes sense now.
You get
Yes. Yeah. It took me a second, but I get it. I told Rob before you got in here, I want Jordan, since he made his debut appearance as a hibachi grill artist, I want Jordan to make the onion volcano and get that baby rolling one of these days.
You want to know something funny? This house would not be standing upright if I did that.
So to get on to this topic, holds versus saves. So this is more a relievers, fantasy baseball relievers strategy overall. And what I want to know from you guys is, what is your reliever strategy? How many relievers do you like to keep rostered? If you like to keep more than the traditional amount that people would roster, where do you make the sacrifice to maybe keep an extra reliever? And also, maybe how do you value the hold versus the save in particular? Because they both do carry a lot of value. In our league, obviously the save carries the most value, but maybe more limited chances. So I guess that's kind of where I wanted to go with this topic. What are you guys thinking?
I'll let you start off, Rob.
Okay. The saves is a big part of my draft strategy this year. I wanted to have a top 5. I wanted to be top 5, if not top 2 in saves in the league. 15 points, I believe, is what they're worth. Is that right? 15 points? Yeah, 15 points is what they're worth. So that's massive amounts of scoring when it comes to out of your pitching staff. The way that our roster is constructed is you have one open pitching spot, which can either be pitching or relief pitching, and then we have 2 starting pitchers and 2 relief pitchers. So on a nightly basis, if you can get somebody in there that's going to get you a save, I mean, that's incredible. And alongside that, the holds opportunity as well, because I believe those are either worth 10 or 15, something like that as well.
Those are worth 10.
10. All right. So holds being worth 10. I mean, obviously you're going to want those save opportunities first, but I also really look at or just a standard relief, a long relief pitcher coming in for those hold opportunities. If you can find a team that uses a relief pitcher in that sense, it's a fantastic value, because those are players that you can plug in to get you a surprise 20 points, every night.
Quickly.
Every time I see, like, when I'm playing somebody, I look like, for some reason, is mentally you kind of just graze over relief pitchers, because relief.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because starting pitching has been so strong for so long. But then you see these relief pitchers like Felix Bautista last night got me 17.9 points in one outing. If he gets another 2 this week, he's going to have the points of a starting pitcher. And relief pitchers, and relief pitchers tend to come into positions that are a little bit more reliable and, more of a rock solid situation for them to get the desired outcome or the desired points that you want.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having a strong relief core, anchored with saves, I think is vital to our league. Vital to our league. If you're not there, you're going to struggle, because any other way you're just streaming starting pitching, and when you get into that game, you're gambling daily. You're hoping that this arm can throw well, because you're going to start to stream people like Corey Kluber and
I just love that we've just adopted that as just his name.
Kubler.
Yeah. No, Rob, you're right. So how many, I guess, the one other question I have. So currently then on your roster, how many relief pitchers are you rostering, and what is the breakdown on maybe just a middle relief versus closer?
I'm currently rostering 3 relief pitchers. I have Emmanuel Clase and Felix Bautista, both for closing roles. And then Alex Lang from Detroit. He's a closer too, but he's one of those fringe closers. If you're gonna invest heavily in relief pitching as part of your strategy, as one of your main staples in your strategy, you need to pay attention to these closer reports, and then you need to pay attention to see who might claim a role and who might get demoted from a role. Because I think it was last year with Camilo Duvall. They had like 7 different closers throughout the season, and Camilo Duvall's who it landed on, and he just kind of morphed into a stout closer. So I mean,
he actually lost it by the end of the year.
Right.
He did.
So I mean, but I mean, if you're gonna rely on relief pitching as a pinnacle of your draft strategy, and then your season long strategy, you got to pay attention to that. That's just a little extra work, but you can look those up. You can look that kind of stuff up on Fangraphs or Baseball Reference or any Baseball Savant. I'm sure has something.
So Jordan, what's your relief strategy going into this year? Because it is kind of a topic that, regardless of the league you're playing in, relief pitching, it comes at a premium, and there's different strategies you can take with it. So what was your kind of philosophy coming into the year?
Well, the plus side with relief pitchers is that there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of relievers that will produce on a nightly basis for you. There's not like a humongous decline in actual skill. It's not like the third base position, for example, or not third base, catcher, where there's only 5 good catchers in baseball. There are tons of good relievers out there. And obviously some of them have bad nights and everything. However, when it comes down to relievers, I like to get the middle relievers more than anything. They, in my opinion, I feel like they see the field. They see the field more than what a closer typically does. You can get them on back-to-back, maybe 3 straight nights, and then they're off for 2 nights, and then they're back at it again. That's what I like to target mostly, is the middle relievers, and then that one closer. And relief pitching can be scary, because if they blow your save or if they blow the game, because you get a blown save and a loss. Ryan Helsley, for example, got negative 20 points or something like that. I could be wrong. But he got negative 20 points because he got the loss and he got the blown save on top of that. And that's negative 15, negative almost. Is that negative 20 or 15?
No, yeah, that would probably, with a blown save and a loss, that I think that's negative 10 each. So yeah, he's probably in that negative 20 range. It's
a scary thing to rely your week on a relief core.
It is because
Oh, sorry. No. Keep going.
I was going to say it is because it's not just that negative 20 you end up getting from Helsley, because when he goes in for that save situation, you're looking at it like, okay, this is going to be 20 points if he converts this save. So it's more of it's a 40-point swing, because it's not just the negative 20 points you got. It's the 20 points you kind of had in the bank that you were hoping to get there. Right. And now all of a sudden, it's so, yeah, you're right. It's high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And so last year, for example, I was really heavy on my relief, but I was also really heavy on my pitching last year. This year, I dialed it back a little bit, and I'm focusing heavy on the offensive side of things. But when it comes down to negative 22.5 points, that is brutal.
Yeah, those are
And
tough days.
and there are times where relief pitching can really screw you over. And but if you get yourself a good relief core, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having a hard time finding relievers and you're not in a good situation, right now I'm in a good situation. I just had one closer, one reliever that did bad. Everybody else is doing well. So, but
Yeah.
it's a worrisome feature for sure.
Yeah.
And I will say,
I
like,
guess, yeah, go ahead.
I
Rob.
will say, drafting with that strategy that I had, approach with with saves in mind. My pitching staff overall, like my starting pitchers, are subpar at best. So, I mean, there's a lot of risk that goes into it when it, from the fantasy side. It's a risky move, but if it pays off, I think it'll pay off pretty hard.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got on your roster, Rob. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to get that kind of elite closing you have while also getting elite starting pitching. But
Yeah.
with the elite closing you have, you get three saves in a week, and that's 60 points. That's good. That's good for 2 starts from a starter.
Yeah,
Right.
Your pitching staff is really good, minus like Lududa. Is it Lodudo?
Lodolo, he's going to be good though.
Lodolo. Well,
Yeah,
he'll be
dude.
good.
Beast.
He struggled last year,
Dude.
didn't he?
He's nasty. He
thought-
can
Yeah.
strike out a ton.
He'll get Cy
Okay.
Young votes. He'll get Cy Young votes in 2 years. 2 seasons. He'll get Cy Young.
I did not
dirty.
realize he was. I did not realize that he was that good. My apologies.
And
But
if I'm
No.
not mistaken, and if I'm not mistaken, Nick Lodolo, I think, made his debut against the Guardians last year because he looked good. He looked really good.
Yeah. He's pretty filthy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
nice.
I guess to put a bow on the fantasy relief pitching strategy, my personal take on it is, so I do like to keep 3 relief pitchers on my roster at all times. I don't carry a catcher, but just with position scarcity that's out there, I wasn't one that was going to kind of overpay on one of those top 4 or 5 catchers that me personally I feel are worth rostering. So I don't have one of those guys, so I don't roster a catcher. I go with an extra relief pitcher. I don't put as much weight in the save as you do, Rob. I guess maybe I look at it more like Jordan on where I view the hold in our league in particular. As we said, what the holds are worth and the versus the saves. I look at it. The hold, you're going to get more opportunities. It's not so dependent on everything else going right. You can be in there in the 6th inning and a tied game, or even a game where you have the lead and you could still walk away with the hold even if they lose, where in a save you don't get that leeway. So that's why and there are so many, and if you can find a middle relief guy that is high on the holds and is also a strikeout artist, where you get those strikeout points to go along with it, it really does make up for the lack of points you get on versus the save. And on top of it, with the save, if things do go awry, you typically will get the blown save on as well as the loss, where and like you said, Rob, I think you said it when you were talking fantasy relief pitching strategies. A lot of these guys, if you target some of the right middle relief guys in particular, that you look up the depth chart and you're like, yeah, that closer's a little shaky. You can target the right guys, and then all of a sudden those will turn into save opportunities. And
Right.
So I've got I've got 2 middle relief guys on my in my
I think I'm frozen.
team now, and I've got 1 closer, which was Devin Williams, which there you go. That was a guy that was a middle relief guy up until basically they traded Josh Hader at the deadline last year, and he racked up just a ton of points. So I guess that's kind of my take on the fantasy relief pitching strategy in particular. But shall we?
We shall.
We shall. Hey, I got a question. Do you guys hear that beeping noise?
don't hear it. Oh,
It's,
there
it's
it is.
like
Why is he
no,
making-
no. It's going like beep, beep, beep.
I don't hear it.
Oh, I know what it is.
The rookie radar.
Oh man, you're one
The
of a
rookie
kind.
radar, guys. All right.
That's right. That's right.
Rookies in fantasy baseball can be a humongous risk.
Yeah.
Maybe because they don't get a lot of they don't have a lot of experience. But when it comes down to rookies in particular, there's this year we're having a lot of, let's just say, very interesting rookies that everybody is very attracted to. We have Corbin Carroll, the speedster down in the desert.
Oh yeah.
He can hit, he can rake, he can play the outfield very well. Doesn't have anything to do with fantasy, but he won't give you those errors. And then you also have Jordan Walker from St. Louis, the 6'6" giant. Guy's almost bigger than John Carlos Stanton and can move like a gazelle. He just had his first hit. Then you also have dang, I'm spacing out. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Give me a
Gunner.
second. Give me a second.
Gunnar Henderson.
Oh, yeah, of course. You have Gunnar Henderson. First off, if your name is Gunnar, you're a badass. But
I mean, it's a baseball name.
But no, Gunnar Henderson is a dog.
And
he
Henderson
is gonna
too, yeah.
He's for sure on everybody's list of who to target. You have Masataka Yoshida from Boston.
Yeah.
There's so many good rookies. I'm forgetting a lot because it's a very strong rookie class this year. Obviously, I have a favorite because I'm a Cardinals fan. I like Jordan Walker a ton. I feel like there's a humongous upside in him. But also, when it comes down to another rookie, has to be Corbin Carroll. He and Jordan Walker, in my opinion, are the two best rookies in all of baseball by the end of this year. Gunnar is probably gonna win the American League Rookie of the Year. That's just my prediction. But there's a gap between Jordan Walker and Corbin Carroll, and I feel like it's going to be a bloodbath to get the Rookie of the Year, and also to be the top producing rookie in fantasy. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
Oh, absolutely. I love Gunnar Henderson myself. When you look at the American League Cy Young, the American League Rookie of the Year award, I'm so high on Gunnar Henderson. I really, really wanted him this year in the draft too, and I got him actually last year as a September call up. Kind of was able to watch him. He almost had a 1.0 WAR in the September call up time period last year. So he was a hell of a player. So I kind of got to see a little splash of him where I was following him every day. But I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's nearly can't miss on an exciting team to boot. But Volpe, we'll see with the Yankees kid, shortstop there. Hey, I'm not rooting for him necessarily. Whatever. I just don't like the Yankees, and that's fine.
No.
Yankees haters come at me. I'll take it all day. But on the topic of the rookies, though, the other thing I was more curious on, because I think we've in the offseason we've talked so much about some of these top prospects that we know are breaking camp. The other thing though is some of the prospects that didn't make camp, I think is an interesting topic for fantasy too, because hey, so and we know because we've got people in our league that took risks at the draft and drafted people that ended up not making camp with the team, but it's also, you got some people that maybe are stashing guys away, so that's also like that's also like a big part of these rookie radar So I've got a couple names there too. But I guess before we get into that, Rob, what are your takes on some of the young guns that are breaking camp with the big league teams and see what they can do?
Dude, we got a lot of talent. I'm generally a prospect watcher anyway. I collect cards, so collecting cards, obviously you're either an old school card guy or you're wanting the new guys, and so I love the prospects. Gunnar Henderson, I'm pretty stoked to see him play. Obviously, like you said, he plays for an exciting team, so I'm really excited to see what he could do this season. I don't know much about him outside of his debut yesterday, and I think he took 2 walks yesterday or something like that.
He has a good eye.
Yeah, a rookie with that kind of discipline, fantastic. Corbin Carroll, I mean, buddy is fast. Like,
very.
I was watching a broadcast yesterday, and it wasn't even a Diamondbacks broadcast, and they were talking about how they're like 60 steals in his first season, and I'm like, oh,
really?
Geez, okay, yeah. And I think that'll be fun to follow. Anthony Volpe, he's overhyped in my eyes. He's just got that Yankees hype back in him. I mean, he's not gonna. I don't think he'll finish in the top 3 of rookie voting when it comes to the AL. And then you look at, so we'll move on from Volpe. Let's go to Walker. Jordan Walker, again, I think a little bit overhyped. They keep comparing him to O'Neal Cruz. They love the size of the man. They love the way that he could do that. And if he could get his bat under control, blah blah blah. Okay, you know what? O'Neal Cruz isn't really panned out to be the top prospect everybody thought it was either. So that's great, but I don't know. I would like to see more out of him. And then we have Josh Young from Texas, third baseman.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
About him.
I think he's going to be solid only because nobody really. He's never been put into that conversation. He's not Jordan Walker. He's not Anthony Volpe. So I think that he's going to be solid from that stance alone. And then Hunter Brown's Houston pitcher. He's supposed to make MLB this level this year. I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to remark on anything. My favorite, and what I think is going to be the AL Rookie of the Year, Tristan Casas.
Okay.
Tristan Casas, first baseman for Boston. I think he's going to lead the team in home runs, so I see 22, 23 home runs out of the boy. I just, and it comes with that Red Sox hype behind it. Just like the Yankees, the Red Sox have that same hype. And no offense to you, Jordan, but St. Louis has a lot of that same hype as well. They're coming into these pristine organizations, the prestige behind them. These guys have always been able to produce talent, blah, blah, blah. So I could see there's being some steam behind Casas to create a really, really, really low floor or a really, really high floor, and I could see him falling right through that. But I also see him carrying that team to. I mean, they're not going to compete in the division. I'm not saying that, but carrying that team to exceed expectations, I think, is very possible. So I like Tristan Casas a lot. I actually drafted him. I was able to watch him taking that bat down at spring training, and dude, I'm excited about what he can bring.
Yeah.
Well, my next question is, what do you guys think about these Japanese stars, though? We have do you guys think that they have what it takes to compete? I honestly think Yoshida does. Yoshida raked in the WBC. That was my first time ever really seeing him, and I was like, he's quick. He has a power bat. He has a good contact bat, and has a tremendous eye. I feel like he's going to make a good push. What do you guys think? Like when it comes down to the rookie Japanese players.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. It's a little bit of a blind spot for me.
Okay.
And here's why. And this is going to sound stupid because one of the best player in the league is a Japanese player that came over, but this is going to sound terrible. Like, cancel me for the take, but I just don't buy into and I know there are people out there that that feel the same way. Shohei being the exception because he's just such a special player. I can't even express it enough how amazing Shohei Ohtani is. But I just don't buy into the Japanese players' transition for overall
Right.
the averages. They just don't translate very well. So honestly, and on top of that, I will say my team that I follow the most being the Guardians, we've never really dabbled so much in the Japanese talent. Although I think we did have Kosuke Fukudome there for like a year.
Fukudome. I remember him.
And I don't even know if I said that right, but so I don't have much of an opinion, Jordan. I'm sorry, man.
Okay. How about yourself, Rob?
Kyle Tucker just went yard.
Did he?
Yeah.
Has Bregman done anything?
No, he's 0 for 3. He looks like he had I don't know. He's left on base once with no hits.
Okay.
Not looking at it. These Japanese
Rob.
players, I tend.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Adam, that it doesn't normally translate. You have your outliers, Shohei, you each. I mean, you got your outliers, but it doesn't translate normally. As for Yoshida, though, I mean, I think the team's bad enough that he can look like a stud on it. I think the WBC really has him kind of pointed in the right direction to look like a stud. So I think that he'll do pretty well for the year. I don't see him, like, his comparison to the WBC was the Juan Soto of Japan, and I don't see that. I do not see that. Not possible. So, but yeah, I tend to agree with Adam. Not a good thing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because you guys make a good point, because when it comes down to these Japanese players coming to America, there's like, what? Did I say something wrong?
No.
No, like we have Ichiro, we have Ohtani. Those are our last two pinnacles.
Well, you got Darvish.
Darvish, yeah, he's good. Yes, he's really
good.
good.
And Seiya Suzuki. Yeah, and Seiya Suzuki was being pitched as, that great thing, and who was the one from that was drafted by Cincinnati a few years back who was just dog shit.
Like that's the thing. That's the thing. I feel like it's a humongous risk when it comes down to getting these Japanese players. However,
oh my God,
what just happened there? All right.
I like them personally. I like following them. I really like Yoshida.
Fun.
I'm a huge fan of his. Huge fan of Yoshida's.
It's fun. I mean, and like even the Japanese league and the KBO, those are fun leagues to fill some baseball and want. When you're craving baseball, they're good to go to. I don't mind them.
Oh, they're like the energy at those games are ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's
worship baseball. They worship it.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the Japanese leagues. I just don't think that the two leagues translate. It doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess we're at 54 minutes. We got just a couple more segments we want to get into here before just getting into some housekeeping issues here before we get out. But let's get into Bastard Rob's non-refundable run lines.
I had a whole bit. Whatever. We're just gonna.
Dude.
We're just gonna click it.
Bastard Rob's non-refundable run line.
There we go. Take it over.
All right, fellas. On this week's edition of Bastard Rob's non-refundable run line, where I want to talk about my rules that I set myself for betting. And if you want to be a successful bettor, you should actually definitely do this too. These are rules that are pretty much standard and flat across any handicapper across the industry. They're going to tell you the same things. And then I'll have a couple pointers in here in the back end of that, and then we can get into some prop bets. All right, first and foremost, bankroll management. I'm going to mention it on every single one of the posts that I do on Instagram. Any day that I post anything, you're gonna hear bankroll management. What I mean by bankroll management is never to bet yourself out of betting another day. You want to be able to make sure that you're sustaining your habit or your hobby or whatever it might be to be able to play another day. So in order to do that, one of the things that I went through, and a lot of the things that a lot of other handicappers do, is they set themselves limits. So what they do is you break down your bankroll and you break it down into a unit size, and then your unit size is what you will bet on for the day. Now, I'll personally bet 3 units a day, and that's what I just put down. I'll never exceed more than $300 a day. My unit size is $100. Now, sometimes I'll say I'm going to drop a dime on it, or hit it with 0.1 unit, or half a unit, or 50, or put a quarter on it, or 2 quarters on it, something like that. When I say that, I'm putting that increment of dollar onto that play. So if I say I'm going to bet a quarter of a unit on Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run for whatever day or whatever park he's playing in, I'm going to be putting $25 on that to play. All right, so that's number one. Bankroll management. Set your unit size. Set your rule when it comes to how much you're going to bet per day, and then don't break that rule. Don't do it. And then tip number 2: always track your bets. If you're not tracking your bets, if you're a serious bettor, or if you're a casual bettor that wants to be able to become profitable off of your bets, track your damn bets. You need to know what you were doing and what you were thinking. You need to know what you were doing, what you were thinking when you made that bet. That way you can understand if it was a mistake or not. All right. So there are ways to do that. You grab yourself a notepad. You can write your bets down. I personally use the Pickett app. It seamlessly syncs to all my sports books, so that whenever I place a bet on those, it brings it in, and I set my unit size within the app so that it tells me exactly how much I bet. So if I only bet like a dime on it, then it's going to pull it into the Pickett Sports app, and it's going to say you bet 0.10 of a unit. It's seamless. It's awesome. It's fantastic. We're not sponsored at all, but I love that app, and I think that it's something that everybody should turn to. So number 1, bankroll management. Number 2, track your bets. Number 3, don't bet fucking parlays. Parlays are the bane of my existence. I bet them just about every other day, and I don't bet them if for serious at all. I just don't do it. I think parlays are fun, and that's where they should remain. If you're serious about sports betting and you're serious about building income off of your sports bets, you stay the hell away from parlays. They're built to make you lose. All right. Instead of betting a parlay, take everything you would have bet in that parlay and then bet a dime on it or bet a nickel on it. Just bet it individually. You're going to be better off. Yeah, the odds are not going to be. I'm not bragging, Shane. Your odds are not going to be.
Hey, for the audio only listeners, we had a comment come in from Shane Anderson. He said to Rob, "You brag about your unit size all the time, Rob." I think there might have been an innuendo there. Now that I read it back.
Well, there had to be.
He got me. Damn it.
That's why I didn't say anything, because my mind instantly went there. I wasn't thinking about anything else.
I was just trying to help out the people that might listen to this, and I do mean the very few amount of people that listen to this after we go live. I was just trying to help them out, man.
Yeah, well, I get you. That's fair. I'm the one that broke the fourth wall. I broke the fourth wall, so. Yeah. All right. So bankroll management, track your bets, and then don't bet parlays. Those are my 3 major rules. If I'm going to bet something seriously, those are the things that I'm going to take seriously. I do bet parlays, like I said, and I reserve those for special days. Like yesterday, I had a parlay going just for fun. NCAA tournament, I'll bet parlays all the time for fun. Same thing with like the playoffs, the Super Bowl and stuff like that. I'll bet parlays. They're all for fun. I'm not seriously trying to make money off of a parlay. Because 9 times out of 10, or 99 times out of 100, you're probably going to lose that parlay. Unless it's some like 2-leg parlay, but your odds aren't going to be anywhere near what you need. So whatever.
Yeah, no. And honestly, I can appreciate everything because it probably is something that is probably good rules for those that gamble need to live by, because I could see where that could go sideways pretty quickly. So we appreciate you pushing the responsibly gambling message across.
Of course. Now with that
Follow-
said, let's go ahead and put
Yeah.
some gambling on board.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's
so
get reckless.
tonight's games have all but pretty much kicked off. We still have your Guardians that'll be kicking off here, or thrown off here in a few moments.
Josh Bell home run.
Is that what you're betting? Is a Josh Bell home run?
Yep, I have $1 on it.
He's got monopoly money on it.
No, I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to get into it very slowly, and
That's the best way to do it.
No, dude, that's smart. That's smart, dude. You put $50 in, you make dollar bets. Yeah, you put $50 in, you make dollar bets until you build your book. That's what I did. I started with $200. So.
I forget how much it turns into. I'll check.
Yeah. Hey, that probably like you'll probably get like $7 or $8 out of that if he does it.
Yeah.
But so go ahead, Rob.
I'm trying. Obviously, of course, Rob's new non-refundable run line of the days. These segments are always brought to us by BetUS.com, and America's favorite sports book for the last 20 years. We do have a promo code. We'll put the promo code down into our bio or underneath the video here. Use that promo code for 250% first deposit boost up to $2,500. So you can't beat that deal. Unfortunately, right now it seems that I can't pull up the numbers that I wanted to. Give me a second. I want to talk about some Rookie of the Year betting because I am excited for Rookie of the Year. We've got a lot of good prospects, like Jordan brought up earlier. So I'm excited about that. So let's talk about Rookie of the Year betting when I get it pulled up.
Kyle Tucker just made it a great grab. FYI. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful.
It's going to be tough to beat that grab that Hunter Renfroe made there.
Oh my gosh. No, I just kept watching it.
Incredible.
What the hell happened?
I was like, no,
that was like a MLB The Show glitch.
like he was running and then he was like, it's over here.
Yeah, that was absolutely
and then I'm like,
insane.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't even look at it.
And it's just so bizarre for that to happen like game one, out of the gates, just to get like a catch that I've never really seen like in that way before. And that's why you gotta love opening day, man. You just never know what you're gonna see. And this is also a classic filibuster on our part, Rob. How you looking?
I got him.
He's got the numbers. All right, we're good.
Looking good. Yeah.
I had to dig deep in there. I had to go with the Hunter Renfroe catch yesterday to try to filibuster, but
he did. That was a pretty solid, or it was a sick catch. I also want to bring up the San Diego Padres uniforms. I want to bring up the San Diego Padres uniforms for tonight. If you haven't seen them, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
You don't like them?
No. Let me pull them up. What's today's date? Sorry, this is...
Be careful. The internet might crap on you. Or is that just me? I don't know.
Well, Rob does live in Grable, which is a little bit of an Amish community.
I do.
He may have to add some gasoline to his generator to get this baby
I live near the city, so there's no excuse for me. I don't know what the problem is.
We're gonna get people inevitably. We're gonna get people that are like, maybe not familiar or not living close to Amish people, and we just dropped the Amish.
What the hell with Amish?
Rob, they may just be like, well, fuck. I just assumed Rob was Amish with that damn beard.
That's right. That's
No,
right.
you got a mustache. You got a mustache. So,
I
Yeah, they're
do.
not
I
allowed
do.
to have
And I don't have
mustaches.
hair. I don't have hair, so I can't have a stupid ass haircut. All right.
Oh,
All right.
had a
I couldn't find a
horrible
picture,
dream.
so we'll have to tweet it out. We'll have to update you guys on socials. So follow along on our socials for an updated picture of the San Diego Padres uniforms that are just hideous. But American League Rookie of the Years. Let's get some conversation into that aspect. Gunnar Henderson, Anthony Volpe, Masataka Yoshida, Tristan Casas, Grayson Rodriguez, Hunter Brown. So those are the tops. Those are the leads right now. Gunnar Henderson's in the lead at 275. I don't see a whole lot of value there. When I talk about value, I don't know how to explain this. The value in sports betting is finding it at a line that is reasonable for you to place down money on to be profitable, as close to your unit mark as you can. So if you're tracking your bets, you want to either do it in one of two ways. You either want to bet a unit, or bet to win a unit, or bet a unit. So you can bet a full unit on it. So if you want $100, you could put $100 down, and then the odds are your income or your profit off of that is however much your unit's going to get you. Or you can approach it with betting to win a unit. So my unit size, if your unit size is $10, you want to find whatever bet you need to place to make $10 and profit off of it. So when I do a lot of the futures betting, that's what I do. I bet to win a unit. Just because when it comes to futures props and futures betting, you're going to be waiting a long time for these to cash. Like the rookie of the year, obviously, it's not going to cash out until postseason, if not later. So you want to play around with the denomination you're playing. Like I said, my favorite and who I'm looking to lead or to win the rookie of the year for the American League is going to be Tristan Casas. He's at 900 right now, plus 900. So for every $100 I bet, I'll get $900 in winnings.
Yeah.
So I like Tristan Casas. What are your guys' thoughts when it comes to value on Anthony Volpe at plus 450 and Masataka Yoshida at plus 500?
I would do Yoshida personally.
Go
Granted,
Yoshida.
I think Gunner's going to win, but there's, like you said, there's not a lot of value in it. So I got to go with my second pick.
Right. And one of the cool things about betting futures, if you're into betting futures, especially rookie of the year and stuff like that, these odds are going to change throughout the season. So we can come back in 2 weeks and we can look, look, Yoshida's not 500 anymore. He slumped for a couple days or a couple weeks, so he's down to plus 1,200. And that might be the position for you to buy him. So the same applies for Gunnar Henderson. When some of these others start to climb, Henderson might drop, and that might be when you're like, all right, this is when I'm going to pull the trigger on purchasing for that futures prop.
Yeah.
What do you think, Adam?
So where did you have Casas at?
Casas is at plus 900, so 9-1.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess between those three under the radar, where as you said, there is some value left, dude. I think I might like your pick the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, I just think that there's value there. I mean, you get him at plus 900, so he's not going to fall much below that. Because I don't think other rookies, Royce Lewis, and Josh Young, I don't see them competing for the rookie of the year. So I don't think Tristan Casas will fall much further than plus 900, but gaining to get up to to cover Henderson and Volpe, I think that's definitely a possibility. And the same with Yoshida. So I'm going to go with Jordan here, and I'm going to put a dime on Yoshida.
Awesome.
Actually, I'm going to put $16 on Yoshida. And then Casas, I'm going to put a full stake on. Is there any other lines you guys want to talk about?
Let's look at National
I'm obviously
League.
not good at this segment. National League?
Let's
All
look at
right, we
National
got Jordan Walker. We got Jordan Walker leading the way at plus 350, and then we got Corbin Carroll at plus 375. Miguel Vargas at plus 800. I really like that. Kode Senga, whoever that is, I don't know who that is.
The pitcher for the Mets.
Kode.
Yeah.
He's a Japanese guy.
That's weird seeing it spelled out. Ezekiel Tovar at plus 1100, and then Brett Beatty at plus 1200. What do you guys
quite
see?
A gap.
Yeah, you're always going to see that between your top two and then lower than that.
Because Walker and Corbin are they're literally stacked on top of each other right now. So
yeah, I know who I would go with, as far as out of that list you gave. But to me, I was trying to pull up his stats here. I'd go with Brett Beatty.
I would go with Beatty as well. I just don't think that Walker or Corbin are valuable at all.
No, I don't see a whole lot. I'm sorry, go for it.
No, that's it. No, I just said that.
Oh,
yeah. I coughed.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, no, you're good.
I got one question for you on the National League. Because this is a guy that we haven't talked about, and this is a guy that honestly I think will be the starting shortstop for their respective team by the end of April. And this might be of interest to a certain somebody on this team. Where is Mason
I don't think
Wynn?
he's ready. I don't think he's ready, bro.
I'm talking Mason Wynn. I'm not talking De La Cruz.
Oh, okay.
So
you're talking Mason Wynn?
Yeah.
I love Mason Wynn. For one, I will say this. He's a freaking beast. However, the only way he's coming up is if Tommy Edman struggles or Nolan Gorman struggles. I don't see Brendan Donovan struggling. He looks good from the start. But Mason Wynn, I think they want to keep him down there till like June or July.
Really?
Or not.
I don't.
Or not even call him up until September when they do the call-ups. I have a hard time seeing him do that. He looks good. He looked really good in spring training.
Yep.
What do you think, Rob?
I don't see Mason Wynn making his debut this year.
I have a hard time seeing it too.
He's not listed in odds wise, so I can't really comment on that. So I don't see Mason Wynn being. Yeah.
Well,
out of the National League Rookie of the Year contenders, out of the contenders that I mentioned, I do like Miguel Vargas the best. I think especially with that Gavin Lux knee injury, his playtime only increased from that because he's good. He could play anywhere on the infield. So I just think that I like him. I like him a lot, and I think that that's going to be good for.
And that's what Mason Wynn needs. And I don't want injuries. I don't want Tommy getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at an hour and 14 minutes.
Hang on, wait, before you go on to the next segment. Hang on. I got something. Hang on.
Oh, okay. I gotta keep forgetting he's got little bits he does. He doesn't even inform us, Rob.
No, he doesn't. He didn't even give us a heads up before the show. He's gonna come back with like pots and pans.
Hello and welcome to the Batters Report. My name is Jordan Maroney. Nice to see you guys today. Tonight we have breaking news. It's time to discuss the Bastard Republic reports.
Bastard Republic reports.
And on these reports, what we talk about is what we talk about on Twitter. These polls that we put out, and how awesome and how different we also think of each other. I don't know why I'm holding this as a microphone. I have a microphone right in front of me this whole time. I'm a freaking idiot. But no. Welcome to the Batters Report.
Yes. The segment that's sweeping the nation by storm. Jordan, So I'm assuming, are you just like a weather reporter reporting from a blizzard? Is that why the hat came on?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got the
I
snow
just
in the
wanted to
background.
shitty curtain. Anyways,
Don't let my
so
wife
yeah,
do
we've got a brand new segment that we call the Bastards Republic Report, where we like to pose a few questions to what we have, that we have graciously and lovingly called the Bastard Republic. That's of course all of our loyal fans out there. So we like to pose a few questions out there just to see maybe what Bastard Nation is thinking. So I guess we've got 3 questions that maybe we could get through here quickly. Spend a few minutes on each question, and then wrap things up here. So the first question, when and when I read the question, I'm going to give you the results of what the polls were on Twitter as well. So the first question was, when building a fantasy roster and playing fantasy baseball, what's more important? Your options were gut instincts or analytics and numbers. So again, when building a fantasy roster and playing fantasy baseball, what's more important? Gut instinct or analytics and numbers? Our poll was just very close. It ended in a 46% for analytics and numbers and 54% for gut instinct. So gut instinct just squeaked by on that one. So what do you guys think?
Gut instinct.
I think I voted I voted analytics and numbers in the pod. I have benefited on both the fantasy side and the sports betting side from a combination of both. So this one was a tough one for me, man. This is a good poll, but I'm going to stick firmly into my analytics. I'm do it.
Yeah. Well, and it was our probably our most popular post, I suppose. So there must have been a lot of strong opinions on it. Myself, I go to the analytics and the numbers. I just do, and it's just
right.
I just,
and it's such a fun way to approach it.
Yeah.
Well, I go gut. That's why whenever I follow a lot of like no-namers, people that nobody really cares about. So I'll go onto the fantasy app and I'll see who's been popping off as of late and to see if they would be beneficial. Like, for example, Owen Miller last year for the Guardians. I was following that guy like a hawk right at the start of the season because he had a stellar spring training. And so after he dominated, the man hit 3 home runs in 3 straight games, and then also just kept on racking up stolen bases. And I like to go based off of that. It's more exciting, but it's also a humongous risk because you have no numbers to back up why you're picking them. And you guys are gonna love me saying this because I have to bring him up. I have to. I always do. He's one of my favorite players in baseball. Freaking Cedric Mullins, baby.
Oh,
and so he was
Yeah.
a gut instinct. Nobody ever heard of him. There was 1% of people that rostered him 3 years ago. Only 1%. And I was like, yep, I'm jumping on you. Look at that. Yeah. And so it's a heavy risk, though. I think analytics are the right way to do it. Gut is a lot more riskier.
Yep. I think, you've got a testament that you can preach, and you do preach, as we've all heard, endlessly with Cedric Mullins. You follow your gut every now and again. You do hit. And I just look at it as more of an analytics and numbers, where I think numbers are numbers and averages are averages, and eventually things come back down to average. And I look at it more from that perspective, but I want to move on to the next one. So our next question number 2 and 3. Yeah, sorry.
Can I tune in? Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm with Adam. Analytics, numbers, give it to me. I am fully of the impression that if you never watched a game of baseball, but if you knew how to look at numbers and you knew how to look at the statistics, you could put together a championship caliber fantasy team without ever watching a game. And I say that across the board for any fantasy sport. Like our league tomorrow, if we all committed to it and committed to actually doing it the right way and looking into the numbers and all that, I bet we could draft like championship caliber soccer teams for fantasy soccer. And I don't even like soccer.
Give me Messi.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, you're
yeah,
right.
I think, fantasy drafting is all numbers to me.
Yeah, dude, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just realized I didn't even ask for your opinion because I know you and me both were such numbers people, and something that Rob, I know you will appreciate on that. And something I talked with Josh Lewis, who by the way is another VSN network guy who's got Thinking Baseball, and he does some stuff with Seventh Inning Stretch here. We were talking about numbers, and I was telling him, I'm like, man, I just love Baseball Savant. And Rob, are you familiar with that website? It's just so awesome. And when it comes to I can say it now because our drafts are over, but when it comes to fantasy baseball drafts, I love going in there to try to find the under the radar players that, where I look at. It's just such an awesome website. It's so colorful and vibrant and user friendly. It's got pictures and charts. I like to go in there and look at some of those under the radar stats of our analytics more of, exit velocity, launch angle, batting average of ball in play, chase rate, things like that, because I think those you can look at some of the younger players that on the surface, their numbers might not look great, but these analytics, they do look good. And it's just a matter of letting them grow into their own, where these now translate into actual baseball card stats.
Right.
So,
Right. And have you ever been to, what is it, Fangraphs? Yeah, Fangraphs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Looked at their, looked at their like budget reports or their roster resource reports. Those are incredible. I'm a prospect guy, so it is incredible to just sit there and pull it up, and then you could see everything. So I'm with you, man. These Baseball Savant, Fangraphs, Baseball Reference, all these guys, they're doing God's work.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's our next poll?
All right. So sorry. Next poll is, and this is an interesting one as well. So what we asked the Bastard Republic was, which new rule for 2023 will have the biggest impact on fantasy baseball rosters this year? So I don't know if I covered every new rule or if we covered every new rule, but what we had was our options were pitch clock, pickoff limitations, larger bases, or the shift ban. Now, what our audience, and we had a fair amount of votes, what our audience picked by far and none, the biggest impact, they said, was the shift ban at over 65% of the votes. Now, with the larger bases and pickoff limitations and pitch clock, each one of those averaged just over 10% of the vote. So you had by far shift bans over 65% of the votes. The other three, just over 10%. So do you agree with the Bastard Republic? Or do you think?
Yes.
Do you? Okay.
I don't like the ban. I don't like the ban shift personally. I don't like it at all. Yes, we are going to benefit from it when it comes down to offensive numbers. We're going to get more hits and all that. I don't like it. It takes strategy out of baseball. I think if you don't know how to hit the ball opposite field, then why the hell are you even in the MLB? Joey Gallo. I just don't get it personally. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the shift I like the shift.
So Jordan, you're looking at it like the shift is going to impact fantasy baseball in a negative way, and not where banning the shift now is going to impact it in a positive way.
Banning the shifts increases the amount of points, which is obviously a positive.
Yeah.
But I prefer, I personally like it when you have a player who can't hit the other way, and then they have 0 points straight weeks or what have you, because they can't get the ball the other way or over the batter's head. it takes it out, and I like the shift.
Fair enough. Rob, what's your take on it?
I disagree 100% with Jordan. I taking the shift out, like I like the shift. Go ahead and shift. I think it's fantastic. I think it's just more strategy to add to it, but I don't think it's going to affect fantasy baseball and capital letters fantasy baseball like because the other three options, you had the larger bases, the pitch clock, and then the pickoff attempts, right? Mm-hmm. All three of those benefit the stolen base. All three of those affect the stolen base. So I look at this as the stolen base is the major benefactor of this. Those who can steal the base are going to be the major benefactor of these rule changes, and I think it's fucking fantastic. I love stolen bases. Dude, I love watching it on TV. I love every single challenge that comes out of it. I love every single stoppage and play that we get to witness through it. I love stolen bases to that fullest extent. Stolen bases. I think these rule changes help that so much that fantasy baseball is going to be, I wouldn't say revolutionized, but the stolen base is going to become the premium scoring category in all variations in fantasy baseball. I think it's fantastic, and I absolutely love it. And you know what? This pitch clock, I was very hesitant on. I absolutely love it. I watched so much baseball yesterday from the time that I woke up.
Yeah,
the pitch clock is amazing.
Yeah, no, it is. And my take on this one is, I agree with you, Rob, on the fact that, and probably also who I agree with is also Jim, who, by the way, guys, we appreciate all the comments that are coming in here during the stream. We appreciate the feedback, but Jim had said that the pitch clock and limited throws, no question on this. And I agree with him. And I think on top of that, the pitch clock, the pickoff limitations, and like you said, Rob, the larger bases, you tie all three of those together, man, it's the stolen base. And that is the absolute coveted prize, I think, of our league, and fantasy leagues where it is so valued. So that's kind of my take on it. On top of it, I think on the pitch clock note, man, I do love it. I love the fact that my Guardians started at 10:10 last night. It was a weekday game. I'm like, gosh, man, 10:10 p.m. Hey, that game was done by 12:35. I was in bed, pissed off, but in bed. And then on top of the pitch clock played a huge factor in that game. And it was a player that's on my fantasy team that I'm kind of bummed about, James Karinchak. And he's a guy that I was worried coming into the season with how the pitch clock was.
He played great.
And yeah, he's kind of a fidgety guy on the mound and was flipping the ball around. He got called for a pitch clock violation. Then his next pitch sailed to the screen, and then he ended up hitting a guy, walking a guy, and then giving up a home run, and 3-0 game over. So, and I think a lot of that pitch clock frazzled him. So I think that is going to play a role. It's gonna be very interesting moving forward, and in particular electric environments, because these opening day environments were pretty much sold out, so it was loud. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, last question for the Bastard Republic Report, and a little bit on a lighter note, is of course best mascot race in baseball. So our choices, of course, were the Washington Nationals racing presidents. Of course, the mascot race I'm talking is the races they do at the game in between innings. So give us your real quick. You don't have to give an explanation unless you want to. Nationals racing presidents, the Cleveland racing hot dogs, the Brewers racing sausages, or the Pittsburgh racing pierogies. Before you answer, let me just tell you, it was a little bit of a split vote. This was our most voted on topic, and the Pittsburgh racing pierogies got 0 votes, which I find shocking. I love pierogies, and I love PNC Ballpark, but
PNC's gorgeous.
Yeah. So okay, so
it's
the
gorgeous,
winner was
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. Exactly, Robin. As a Cincinnati guy, I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So the winner was the Nationals Racing Presidents got 57% of the votes. And it was a little bit of a split between the Cleveland Racing Hot Dogs and the Brewers Racing Sausage at 20%. What's your guys' take on it?
President's baby.
Presidents.
But
Rob?
also, I wish that Mr. Freeze was on there though.
That's
The
what I was
Atlanta.
gonna say, bro.
That's a good one. That's a good one that
Yeah.
they do there in Atlanta.
That
Yeah,
one
dude.
I would have most definitely voted that one.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
man. That dude hauls
I think
ass.
I voted Milwaukee, just because growing up, for some reason that's the first one I remember. So for some reason that's the only one that I really pay attention to. But dude, Mr. Freeze, there's nothing like it. You get some dudes out there dressed and looking like me, sprinting around this track with this dude. Like I judge every single one of those motherfuckers. Like I know I could beat this motherfucker's ass. I know I can beat him. But then I run down the street with my son. And then I'm like, dude, I can't do that.
Right.
I want to give him a try so bad. I want to.
I wouldn't.
I want to face him so bad.
Not for
I'd
me.
stop halfway and start making like sand angels.
Yeah. Hey, this is where
have some guy pour beer in my mouth from the upload.
Hey, for the Mr. Freeze race, this is where my idea of since we're getting creative with the rule changes, this is where my idea of putting trampoline morning tracks in would help, Rob. You could just, instead of racing Mr. Freeze, once you feel like you're out of gas, dude, just jump on the trampoline morning track, get on into the concourse, get you a beer, and you're done.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Beer and a Skyline Coney, I'm done. Just I find my seat, I'm done.
Exactly. All right. So, hey, real quick, one question. What do you guys think about my shirt?
Love it.
I mean, it looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
The old fort down here, the old fort downtown.
It's funny you say that because, in fact, what I'm wearing is.
I'm trying to put it on Adam. I'm sorry.
The shirt I'm wearing, of course, is an old Fort baseball shirt, which is the Fort Wayne flag T-shirt here. As you can see, one of the coolest city flags commemorating some of our local history. We just want to give a huge shout out to Old Fort Baseball as a show sponsor for season 1 of Inglorious Bastards, our headline sponsor. Go ahead and go over there and check them out. They've got all sorts of different gear, hats, sweatshirts, shirts, stickers, mugs, anything, you name it. They've got awesome logos that they've reinvented, reimagined, and redesigned, commemorating some of the local historical baseball teams here in Fort Wayne. On top of that, they are in the midst of their local support local baseball spotlight, where they are spotlighting different organizations across the country every single day that are trying to push baseball and trying to grow the game within local communities all across America. So that is something awesome that they're doing right now. They've got a cool promo going on right now with a free keychain when you buy a support local baseball t-shirt. While you're over there, go ahead and use our code BATTERS for 15% off your first order. Just a huge thank you to Old Fort Baseball. We love everything they do. We love their gear. So just wanted to give a quick plug to them. As you can see, our their website and our promo code is listed below. So please check them out and go ahead and please tell them that we sent you.
And then also one other thing, Rob. You guys, Rob, do we have an announcement as well? Another announcement?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
What's
I
our
think we're a bit
announcement,
premature.
Jordan?
Well, no. Hey,
No.
okay.
Well,
Let's give it the proper preparation it deserves. We do have a big. Let's tease it, Jordan.
Yeah, let's tease it a little bit. Yeah, let's tease it. Let's tease it.
Yeah,
We're
we've
working
got
on
a
it.
big show sponsor announcement that we would like to unveil on our next podcast.
Oh.
That ties right in. Ties right into a lot of what we're doing here. Ties right into, in particular, Rob's special interest. So we're going to put something together to give
Yeah.
them a proper promo.
My
and-
apologies. My apologies, boys.
No, Jordan.
Oh,
hey,
you're
we
good.
appreciate you.
You're good. Well, we're good. Yeah. Well, what you guys don't know about Rob is that I am one of those guys that is always looking for a different fantasy outlet to play. So, I play multiple different leagues of fantasy baseball. I do best ball leagues. I do all sorts of different stuff. Well, I stumbled upon this website the other night called So Rare. So if you guys are into crypto at all, dude, So Rare is where it's at. It's a fantasy style baseball league in which you have to purchase NFTs and open, various different, you open your initial pack and then you can build your team from there by purchasing different NFTs that will add different boosts so you can build your perfect fantasy lineup. And then as soon as you build those players and those cards up, you can sell them for more money than you had purchased them for or invested in them. It's a really cool thing. I think it's going to be fun. And I think that each one of us three should definitely have a league that we could put together, and maybe we can get some listeners involved. So I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. So absolutely. So we will have some more stuff coming out to with our new partnership. I know that tugs at a couple of Rob's heartstrings, both some of the fantasy and also the collecting aspect as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of a cool thing, and we're just so very excited to have them join us. We'll provide some links and some other things where you can help us through them, which would be awesome if you would do that. So that's kind of our big announcement. But other than that, what else we got?
Next week's episode will provide all the proper links and everything. We're still trying to we're trying to finalize everything when it comes down to that. But other than that, there's no other announcements. I think this was a good show. Went a lot longer than I thought, mainly because we actually have fantasy baseball to talk about.
It's tough, man. It's opening day. I know we're all long-winded. We've waited a long time to talk about this. So, hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Hopefully it was worth it.
Well, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed your trip down the Inglorious Batters lane. This is Jordan speaking. And Adam, Rob, and I are going to be signing out. Have yourself a very, very, very inglorious weekend. And also,
keep it inglorious,
watch
Batters.
baseball, baby. Goodbye.